lot of people have been asking me, is Monero no longer safe? And the biggest reason are these people right here, the $3.6 billion money laundering scheme that even warranted a Netflix documentary, but Monero got wrapped up into this because they used a lot of privacy tools, not the right ones. I'm doing a full video breakdown on what they did wrong, but the FBI will love that. But the fact is, they did several things wrong, including the way they used Alpha Bay, the dark web site. But there's some other things they did wrong. I'm gonna break down Monero. Is Monero no longer secure? What you can do to make Monero secure, and also off-ramps for your Monero/crypto. Very, very important if you're in US, Canada, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, planet Earth, because of the way things are going in crypto. In Operation Real Privacy. So most of you have seen this right here, which is an IRS challenge for over 600K to break Monero and the Lightning Network. Now, the IRS, the NSA, the FBI, and several other agencies have been trying to break Monero for a while. Have they been successful? All signs point to no, according to the Magic 8 Ball. However, the fact is, with everything that's going on right now, the craziness in the world, and with crypto becoming the new standard for people's long-term investment and to make money, with record lack of trust in things like stock markets on a worldwide scale, also things like housing markets, which are in a giant bubble, and other assets, crypto, gold and silver are kind of the core assets. We're not going to focus on gold and silver. We're going to focus on crypto, more specifically Monero. Now, a couple of problems people have. Is Monero secure? Yes, to a degree. However, a lot of people don't take Monero, and a lot of people get into Monero and have to switch it out for other currencies. Why? Well, Monero fees could be a killer, and they know this. They kind of got you. So when you're in Monero, are you private? Are you secure? In my opinion, yes. They've not been able to crack it, not even close. Some people have tried to put out some false information saying they did, but they did not. Now, the problem is once you're in, but how do you get out, right? Because with a lot of places not taking Monero, and if you get to a less privacy-focused coin, then you'll be traced around the blockchain. Well, there's a few things that go into that. The first thing that goes into that is you need to be in a situation where you can use a non-KYC exchange. BISC, B-I-S-Q, I did a whole breakdown on the exchanges I recommend. You guys can check out this video and you see the exchanges I recommend. But obviously you have to be non-KYC. But the fees can be killer. What are some other options they do? Because even when you get to your exchange, if you're using a bank. Now, at Privacy X, we help people build ghost lives, ghost businesses, and go through the entire process so you can be private, secure, off-grid, a ghost, and live a life not dictated by these social credit scores, by these insane laws that all these countries are putting out. However, even at that, you do have to be careful. You always have to be careful because you're going to break your anonymity if you're not careful with what you're doing with your ghost business and with how you bank, what country you bank in. A lot of these things have to be greatly taken into account. Now, obviously, we go in depth, first link down below over at Privacy X, but talking about Monero and talking about what's happening with this and these guys utilizing Monero, there's a few ways people get out of it. One, local Monero. Local Monero has been very popular. Local Monero has a few challenges, which I've talked about in the Monero video I did in the past, which is why I personally don't use a lot of local Monero because there's a lot of logistical and privacy issues with that. One thing people do when they're actually trying to use it as currency to buy something is you just trade it in for gift cards. That works really, really well, utilizing from crypto like Monero to gift cards, and then you could take your currency, buy whatever you're gonna buy, and you're set. And I've showed on this channel how to get gift cards 100% anonymous, especially for small sums that are under $500. That's super easy, and then you're set. So gift cards is a good option. You can get as many as you want. So if you had $4,000 in Monero, you get 8 gift cards, all with $500, and there you go. Now, that's an option. Another option, and if you follow me for any length of time, you might know that I play high-stakes poker in Vegas, Texas, Florida, really the southern United States, premium poker. And you get your money in poker chips, well, kind of is what it is, right? Because you all know how casinos operate, or maybe you do, maybe you don't. But to utilize your crypto and get it into poker chips, well, now they're starting to use crypto ATMs. Well, crypto ATMs, not really that impressive. That's more of a novelty. Well, now what some casinos are doing is for specific clients actually taking crypto. I know this for a fact because I live in the entertainment capital of the world. I live in the best, funnest city in the United States for sure, the beautiful Las Vegas. At least, I spend probably about 8 months a year in Vegas. The other 4 months I spend in other places. But the fact is, that's an option, getting it into the poker ecosystem, the poker economy. If you're not familiar with how poker works, poker has its own economy, its own ecosystem. It's a really cool world, which I did one video on before. I'm going to be doing some videos in the future. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. But getting it in poker chips is actually becoming a viable option because now casinos are starting to work with crypto. So are a lot of other places, like some, car dealerships, some houses have been bought in crypto, especially here in Vegas. They're doing beta programs, not as anonymous. Now with the house, you would obviously need a land trust to be able to purchase. You couldn't purchase it in your own name or it would have zero privacy. But these are things that you can utilize to be able to move this forward. Also in other countries, now, utilizing Monero or another crypto, taking it from Monero and exchanging it for, let's say, Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum, or well, probably Ethereum wouldn't be the move, but whatever other crypto you want it to be, exchanging that. Is that an option? Yeah, it's an option. It's absolutely an option. But the thing you want to keep in mind is then you lose your privacy and your anonymity. You still have to make sure you use a non-KYC exchange if you want to keep it private. If you don't want to keep it private and it's just an investment, well, then you could use Coinbase or Crypto.com, provided it's not in your name, you have your assets in a ghost business like we teach you guys to do, then you'll be set. But if you wanted to have another layer of privacy and security using Monero, which is the best option, now there's other options you can do this stuff with, like the Pirate Chain. A lot of people are talking about Secret Network, which I'm an investor in. I will say that ZCash, I'm not a fan of. I get asked a lot about ZCash. I don't like ZCash at all. I don't like how they're partial privacy. I don't like a lot of things about ZCash, and I've talked about that in previous videos. But utilizing Monero on a offshore business card is an option. Transferring it to your offshore bank is an option. And now a lot of offshore banks are starting to work with crypto. There are some laws and regulations, and Monero is a gray area, but it's how you use it. And then the other thing is, so you've probably seen how they use tumblers, most predominantly on the dark web. There's a lot of tumblers that are really good. Well, with Monero, you don't need the same process because Bitcoin's not actually a privacy coin. It's just sold as a privacy coin. Monero is an actual privacy coin. In fact, when Monero came out, I believe the official name was Monero, and they were trying to do a Bitcoin 2.0. So it came out in like 2014, which was a handful of years after Bitcoin trying to be better, and then eventually dropped the bit and just became Monero because they're just better in every way. And so that's something to keep in mind. A lot of exchanges over the years have delisted it. Some have brought it back. But really what it comes down to is you're keeping it in cold storage or a storage on your computer, so a exchange, because of the key. So how the governments are getting these is when you have crypto on exchanges, on almost all of them, it can actually be seized, especially by a government. This is what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people think crypto is something it's not. In fact, crypto is in a lot of ways more transparent than traditional banking because traditional banking has a bunch of laws, rules, and regulations. Crypto does not. So while you and I don't have the exact same laws, rules, and regulations yet, either do the governments. They can sidestep all these wiretapping laws, even here in the United States, there's a lot of rules and laws that were protected, like telecommunication laws, banking laws, customer information laws. There's certain things that we're protected by when it comes to the banking system. You're not protected by those things, even from the government, which is how the government is able to get in and seize. The government could probably seize about 80 to 85%. The United States government could probably seize about 80 to 85% of all of the crypto in the United States, and probably about 60% of all of the crypto in the world if they really wanted to, because of the way the structure is set up with these exchanges, and also a lot of these desktop wallets. Why I don't personally ever use desktop wallets, because of the vulnerabilities. I only use hardware wallets. I will never use a desktop wallet or a quote unquote software wallet unless it's short term, like a MetaMask, but you're using it short term, move things out. I will never store crypto in that because to hack that and to seize that is far too easy. Even if you allegedly have the keys, there's just been too many exploits. So with Monero, the exploit isn't with Monero, it's with the use. Monero kind of makes you trapped in a lot of ways. So to get out, switching it out, or getting creative like with the poker industry, which a lot of people are doing, buying it, utilizing gift cards, using local Monero, or using a swap to swap it into a different currency to ultimately get it out, but it's got to be a non-KYC exchange. And so this is why a lot of people struggle with Monero, and I've talked to a lot of people who don't like Monero because they feel like their back's up against the wall because of the incredibly high fees, and you're not wrong. So Monero at its core, is it cracked? I don't think so. I've seen a lot of people who are supposedly experts say yes. I personally don't believe it. I would have to see some definitive proof to believe that. But that's the smaller issue. The larger issue is you've got to get creative on how to use it. Now, I'm not talking about avoiding taxes. I pay all my taxes. But what I'm talking about is structuring it to where people can't track everything you do. The government has no business tracking you and stalking everything you do like they pretend. You pay your fair share of taxes, you do your thing. The government is not your overlord, even though they act like it. And so this is what I'm talking about. But I am in no way, shape, or form talking about dodging taxes, and I do not recommend anybody does that. I recommend you adhere to your laws. But also, privacy is a right, and it's right that needs to be protected. And if you don't protect it, I don't protect it. You can bet the big companies, the big corporations will not protect it. We will stay in the fight. We will keep putting out content here on Privacy X. Appreciate you guys' support. If you haven't already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, and share. Helps out a lot. We're going to be talking a lot about some of these topics coming up. I did a video yesterday talking about crypto and some of the massive changes coming, which is not good. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend you go watch it. But I've got a breakdown of these laws, so I'm going to put line item by line item of these laws and start talking about what you guys can do to take action. So you don't want to stick around for that. Also, lots of other privacy and security content coming like always. Have an amazing day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.